Last year, I tried 6 new tomato varieties. I kept thinking about 2 of those 6 over the winter. This video is about my second year's experience with Thorburn Terra-Cotta tomatoes and Prairie Fire tomatoes. I will share a few tips, a few observations, a few harvests, and growing highlights, plus a full tomato garden tour with all 20 tomato plants started from seeds in free egg cartons. Ready? Now we're gonna look at Prairie Fire, and we are out here kind of in my little tomato warehouse. I already have full and complete videos on all of these varieties back here, and look at this. This one's very heavy, and you can see I had to put some rebarb in here to reinforce this tomato cage. But these tomato cage legs at the bottom here are super long, and that's part of the problem. Look at how beautiful this is. This one here seems to really be clustered all in the same spot, but that's okay. Isn't this gorgeous? These are so good, you guys. THORBURN'S Terra-Cotta. Look at that. Oh my God. And over here, and over here. And I've got one more right over here. This one's just a tad bit behind because, again, just like that black creme, it's getting a lot of shade here. But you know what? We're going to check back with all of these once these start to be fully ripe. It is August 6th today, and look at those developing over there on Thorburn Terra-Cotta. Got some more over here on Prairie Fire. So on this Prairie Fire, there are 7 of them that are ripe and only 1 that has not split on me yet. You guys, here is a collection of all of those cracked Prairie Fire, which mainly was on the one in the container. It's August 16th. I am back here in the tomato warehouse. I have a black creme. That's great. Look at all that nice cushion. I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. Ooh, came off so easy. Now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna get this Thorburn Terra-Cotta. Look at that, pushing fantastic on it. Comes off pretty easy. And now let's scoot on over here and get a few more of these little Prairie Fires. Look at how beautifully green this one's marked. Ooh, that one feels better. More cushier. So does this. They're so big in the hand, you guys. Guys, we're looking at Thorburn Terra-Cotta. And this one looks like this is going to be problematic to pick. So, this one's also ready. I'm going to take this top one off. And look at this. This looks like several. I'm gonna have to get the scissors for this. Right, now it's off. It looks like I can't tell if it's one. Look at that. Okay, so either the groundhog or the raccoon has figured out there's something to eat back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest as much as I possibly can. It is August 21st today, and here are all of the Prairie Fire for today. There's still plenty more out there. Here's all of the black creme, and look at all of the Thorburn Terra-Cotta. Look at that, you guys. Excellent. I think I'm going to freeze up some of these, possibly make a sweet chili. 25th today, and we are back here looking at this prairie fire with 2 stems in the container up front. And this soil I did not recondition at all. So this is last year's soil, and it did pretty well, all things considered. I have not had any more cracking. However, there's 2 things that would affect that. Number one, we had heat waves during that point. It's been so pleasant, you guys. I haven't run the air for about a week. Plus, I was sort of just holding them on the vine to see how they would do. I feel like with these, since the walls are so thick, they get juicy. These are like a tomato of substance that they will crack on you pretty easily. I have already come out here this morning and cleared off all the old trusses, and I did do some pruning. I'm not going to get into any of that because that is actually on the full guide that's already on the channel. All right, so we are going to do some harvesting with this plant right here. This one has a few. I'll go ahead and grab that. We have one here for Thorburn and another on the other side here. I will say this cardboard is an absolute eyesore. I do not visually like it, but it has been such a fantastic dream for weeding. Looks like something came out and tried to get this one. Yep, a raccoon or a groundhog, take your pick. Okay, here's Thorburn. We have a fantastic cush on that. I've got another one right here. This one needs another day. Okay, this one's pretty small, but it is ready. Came off really nice for me. I've got a bigger one up here. Look at that. That's nice. Look at all that cush in there. I will say in this area back here, this is the first time I've ever planted this out with all tomatoes. Last year I had sunflowers, and you actually do burn back here. Here's a pile that I've had going all summer because I've been doing a lot of clipping out here. But normally I burn out here a couple times a year. Hey, let's go ahead and let's grab this black creme. Look at that. Fantastic. I have full video too on black creme. That is the harvest so far, and that is just back here. Let's go ahead and keep on going. So back here I do like to change it up, kind of change the crops out a little bit. And ooh, look at how nice and red this one here is. And when you are actually burning back here, you are adding potash, and I'll normally do that about a month before it's time to plant out here because I don't want it to have a surge of potassium and be uneven. So that gives it some time to dissipate and to actually soak into the soil. These come off so wonderful. They are getting a little bit smaller. This tidy container is here to actually prop this up because these fruits are pretty heavy. Look at how beautiful this one is. And it's just kind of in between the actual cage leg and the wood over there. So it supported it quite beautifully and counterbalanced it for me. Ooh, this is a good one. Guys, this is what I got so far. I'm gonna get on the other side. I do want to point out why I'm over here. This is 4 plants. Another reason why this is so heavy, and when you prune it, it's very top heavy. And this is a huge, tall tomato cage. So it makes sense that it's going to lean a little bit. This one, not so tall. I'll show you in just a minute. And this one has 3 stems on it. The Thorburn here has 3 stems. And this one over here just has 2 stems, but they are still pretty loaded out here for me. Let's look at black creme. Look at this one. This one looks nice too, but this one is just pretty power packed, and look how nice and tall. Now you can see it's resting and it's just counterbalancing all of that. The rebarb stakes were not enough, and you can see that they tried to pull down a couple more here. Looks like they didn't bite into them. That is so fantastic. So let's look at how tall these two Prairie Fire is. This one is much shorter, much taller. This is the one that has 4 in them. And you can see that I have these nice and spaced out. So yes, even though I put 4 plants and 3 plants here, this has so much nutrients here in ground that it is not deficient of anything back here. There is plenty of nutrients when you rotate your crops, when you put a little potash in there. And when you are in ground, it's pulling water very well. Remember, this is also where I did not have a lot of cracking, unlike the container. This cardboard also helps with keeping the moisture in. The worm activity likes to come to the surface as well. When you are using cardboard, it does not look pretty. Everything in the front, which I'll give you a quick tour of up front, I keep as pretty as I can for all of the YouTube videos. This is just sort of a warehousing station. One more in here that I want to get. And remember, these are kind of getting a little bit smaller as the season is going along. I'm going to leave the rest of these. And let's have a nice little tour of the rest of them up front. Here's where we were. Now let's look up front. You guys, this is a Chef's Orange Choice. It is a hybrid. It is a beautiful color orange. Let's just look down here real quick. Here's my little Simone. Usually this area right here is packed. However, again, revitalizing the soil, I'm giving it a little bit of rest here. This right here, mortgage lifter. And this one's probably ready as well. These are Pink Delicious, Sweet 100s. A nice overview. I need to trim these, especially these. These are the Indigo Cherry Drops. Excellent, excellent. These are also the same thing, Indigo Cherry Drops. This is the orange tomato, Chef's Orange we just seen. Probably gonna need to cut this soon. This is the Yellow Patio Choice. These are fantastic. This is a volunteer potato that came up from cold composting. We know what this is, we've already seen it. These are the Dollar Tree stackable containers. I thought about doing lettuce, just didn't have time this year. Pink Delicious, look at this. Oh, fantastic. Giant Belgiums up here. Got a few. You can see them a little bit better from this position. This is sort of it used to be a very shady area. I had these cut. This is a Pink Delicious, orange, Indigo Cherry Drop. Look at how gorgeous from the bottom. Look at these fantastic dark shoulders on them. Got a few perennials. This is the only flower that I grew this year, and it is going out. This is the Teddy Bear Dwarf Sunflower. And look at this. Beautiful wrought iron fencing. I'm gonna go ahead and redo some things out here. All right, quick note, because this looks weird, a pot within a pot. These used to be down here. These were baby blue pumpkins. I'll flash you a picture of that. They're just done. It's the end of the season now. Also, the wheelbarrows, I have 2 on the property. I let those regenerate as well. And I've been burying cold compost in place in all of the places that are barren this year. You can see what I'm talking about here. There's another wheelbarrow that I'm just letting this rest and let the soil rejuvenate. Here is my last baby boo is a little bit behind, and you can see I'm just letting things kind of rejuvenate here. I'll give you a clip of how stacked this was last year. This here is a daisy gourd mix. I can see a couple of them right here. I'll do a full video on this and on the baby booze. Here's today's harvest. Just one was split. I did freeze the rest, and I made sure that where this was split there was no mold, because obviously even though it's frozen, we don't want to eat mold. You can tell that one's really split right there. So I'm going to freeze these up. And maybe I'll make some sweet spaghetti sauce as well. Guys, here is today's harvest. Another nice size harvest. So here we have black crems, giant Belgium, the Thorburn Terra-Cotta. Here is the indigo cherry drop, pink delicious, sweet 100s, and the Chef's Choice Orange. The next footage I'm going to show you is everything that I grew cut up so that you can see the interior, and also you have a good scale reference. Don't go anywhere, because at the end I'm going to share another tip. So let's do some scale here. These are sweet 100s, Patio Choice Yellow Hybrid, indigo cherry drops, Prairie Fire, Chef's Choice Orange Hybrid, and giant Belgiums. Look at those. Aren't those great? I'm going to have myself a nice plate of salty tomatoes now. Same tomatoes, just cut up. These two rows are up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. Look at how gorgeous and juicy these look. Aren't they beautiful? They taste just as good, you guys. Every single one of these I have already grown before and have enjoyed before. Same tomatoes, cut up and down, side to side, side to side, side to side, up and down, up and down. Let's have a little bit of a closer look here. Remember, these are the Prairie Fire. This is the Chef's Choice Orange, and this is the giant Belgium. Thorburn Terra-Cotta, black creme, pink delicious. These are cut up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. Now let's kind of scale back here so you can see the scale. This is definitely a medium sized tomato. Normally these black cremes are just about as big as these pink delicious are here. In the guide, I talk a lot about how they're kind of very delicate and they're kind of a wild card in order for you to prune them. However, the suckers, oh my God, the suckers turned out to be so valuable instantly. Prairie Fire, what you think is a sucker is immediately producing little flowers for you and giving you an abundance of new opportunity. We're immediately, right here you go, the suckers were immediately valuable. I mean, almost instantly. You really probably want to be very thoughtful and very mindful as to what you are pruning here. You want to get the most production. out of any tomato variety that you grow, for your time, for your expense, for your money, for your watering, for all of it. You want to just really have a bumper crop. The other thing that I noticed on Prairie Fire is when the rest of my tomatoes were dropping blossoms, because it was so God blessed hot, these did not. They powered through. I had a mass of evenly proportioned Prairie Fire. They did not drop on me. So I found them to be very nice and heat tolerant, and I was a little bit worried because sometimes these can be incredibly delicate, especially when they're starting. Look at that. I mean, so delicate. Pleasantly pleased with the fact that these just didn't drop when it got over 95 degrees on us. Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.